Thousands of people took to the streets in pro-Palestinian rallies in both German and British cities on Saturday. And tens of thousands of people took to the streets in London again and in other British cities on Saturday in those pro-Palestinian demonstrations. In the British capital alone, 30,000 people took part in protests against Israel's attacks on the Gaza Strip, as the BBC reported, citing police estimates. Among other things, they called for an immediate ceasefire. 11 people were arrested in connection with the protests in Trafalgar Square and the surrounding area. That's at least what Scotland Yard announced in the evening of the same day. In one case, the reason for this was a poster that could incite hatred, according to the BBC report. Thousands also joined a pro-Palestinian demonstration in Manchester. There were also demonstrations in Sheffield, Liverpool, Leeds, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Cardiff and Belfast for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Over the past weekend, up to 100,000 people took part in pro-Palestinian demonstrations in London. And next Saturday, when the traditional commemoration of the end of the First World War takes place with Armistice Day, another large demonstration is expected. But thousands of people also took to the streets in several German cities during pro-Palestinian rallies. In Essen, after a rally on Friday evening that was registered as a pro-Palestine demonstration, the police are checking now whether crimes were committed there. At the rally, banners were displayed, among other things, calling for the establishment of an Islamist caliphate. Hizb ut-Tahrir, for example, has been banned from operating since 2003. And in Berlin, the police counted around 6,500 people at a rally on Saturday afternoon. And the officials checked the personal details of individual participants there. And some posters that violated the requirements were painted over or taken down. But a journalist was hindered in their work and also physically attacked. And the emergency services recorded the suspect's personal details and initiated an investigation, as a police spokeswoman told the German press agency on Saturday. Further details were initially not known, though. At the rally in Essen, it became clear that the pro-Palestine theme had been a pretext for the rally, as a police spokesman said on Saturday. The aim was to hold a religious event on the streets of Essen. During the rally, the police did not find any criminal violations in the chant symbols and flags. But the demonstration was registered by a private individual, and they say they will examine everything carefully afterwards. It will be examined together with the public prosecutor's office whether there is any criminal relevance. And as I said, in Berlin, Palestine flags and posters with slogans such as "Stop the Genocide in Gaza" or "From the river to the sea, we demand equality" could be seen at the demonstration. And translated, "From the river to the sea, we demand equality for all." This refers to the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea. And they want to destroy Israel there. And a speaker called for the end of the apartheid culture and to stop the bombings in Gaza. And several pro-Palestinian groups called for the demonstration. Many from the left-wing political spectrum who have already called for the revolutionary May 1st demonstration this year also mobilized, according to the police. The demonstration took place under strict conditions. Operations manager Stefan Katte emphasized in advance that anyone who denies Israel's right to exist is committing a crime that will be punished immediately. A repeated commission of such crimes can lead to the dissolution of a meeting very early on, is what Katte told the German press agency. According to the police, any statements that are anti-Semitic, anti-Israel, and that glorify violence or terror were prohibited. According to police reports, almost 17,000 people took part in a pro-Palestinian demonstration in Düsseldorf on Saturday as well. Originally, only 1,000 participants were registered by a private individual. And according to their own statements, the police had to intervene in isolated cases. A police spokesman spoke late in the afternoon of an overall peaceful event. And in my hometown Münster, up to 400 people took to the streets for the rights of the Palestinians. The police spoke of the incident being largely peaceful. The move led from the main train station to the city center. They had 2 participants who shouted anti-Israel slogans with criminal implications during the final rally, as well as 2 other people that were taken into custody here. The police also issued 10 expulsions because demonstration participants held anti-Israel posters or distributed leaflets whose content was suspected of incitement to hatred. And in Duisburg, fewer than 100 people took part in a pro-Palestinian rally in front of the main train station. The police filed 3 criminal charges there against participants for incitement to hatred and condoning crimes. The Central Council of Muslims in Germany condemned anti-Semitic incidents at pro-Palestinian demonstrations and called for caution when taking part in rallies. There are very clear violations, anti-Semitic violations of hatred of Jews, said Central Council Chairman Ayman Maziek on German media on Saturday. And they must be punished, he said. And he appealed to Muslims, be careful where you follow. There are groups that use such demonstrations to chant slogans against Jews and with anti-Semitism. We don't have to like that at all, he says. As you all know, on October 7th, Islamists from Hamas, which rules the Gaza Strip, and other terrorists carried out a massacre of civilians in Israel. Since then, Israel's army has been using airstrikes and ground troops against targets in the sealed-off coastal area. And if you want to know something else, the next video is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.